Hello and welcome. You're watching Rajya TV. You're watching Breakfast News with your host Rajat. Let's have a look at the top headlines. Prime Minister Modi to address rallies in Balia in UP, Buxar and Sasaram in Bihar. Canvass for BJP candidate Kiran Kher in Chandigarh. Amit Shah to hold roadshow in Kolkata, Rahul Gandhi to lead Congress campaign in Madhya Pradesh, Priyanka Gandhi in Himachal, BSP chief Mayawati to address poll rally in Balia in UP, TMC, RJD also step up campaigning. India successfully tests high-speed expendable aerial target Abhyas. Abhyas offers realistic threat scenario for practice of weapon systems designed for autonomous flying with help of autopilot. Opposing WTO's flexible norms for developing economies proving to be extremely divisive by developed economies, says Commerce Minister Suresh Prabhu, stresses need to strengthen multilateral trading system. And 72nd Cannes Film Festival kicks off in France, Indian Pavilion to showcase cinema featuring linguistic, cultural and regional diversity. Special poster to mark Golden Jubilee of International Film Festival of India to be released. First up, let's have a look at the top election news across the country in Bharat Bhagya Vidhata. Prime Minister Modi will continue campaigning for BJP for the 7th and final phase today. He's scheduled to address public rallies in UP's Balia, which is one of the 13 seats going to polls in the last phase. Later in the day, Prime Minister will also address 2 rallies in Bihar's Buxar and Sasaram seats. Polling will take place in state's 8 seats, including Nalanda, Patna Sahib, Patliputra, Ara, Karakat and Jahanabad. And finally, he'll campaign for BJP candidate Kiran Kher, who is looking to retain a seat from Chandigarh. Last phase will witness voting on 59 seats on Sunday. Star campaigners of various political parties will continue campaigning for the 7th and the final phase today. BJP chief Amit Shah will hold a roadshow in North Kolkata, West Bengal. Congress President Rahul Gandhi will also hold public meetings in District Neemach, District Ujjain and District Khandwa in Madhya Pradesh. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra to campaign in Himachal Pradesh, where she'll address public rallies in Thiog and Sundarnagar. And Bahujan Samaj Party chief Mayawati will hold a rally for Mahagathbandhan candidate in Balia in eastern UP. Now, ahead of 7th phase, BJP UP chief Mahendranath Pandey has said that SP-BSP alliance is no threat to BJP in the state. Speaking exclusively to Rajya Sabha television, Pandey said that BJP will replicate its 2014 performance in UP.
7वां चरण में पूर्वांचल में जो सीटें हैं वो सब हम जीते थे 2014 के अंदर और सब सीटें हम जीतने जा रहे हैं। इन 7वें चरण में गठबंधन कांग्रेस को कहीं एक सीट भी मिलने वाली नहीं है।
जो 6 चरण हुए उसमें किस तरह का पार्टी का परफॉर्मेंस देखते हैं आप?
6 चरण के अंदर इन लोगों ने गठबंधन किया जाति के आंकड़ों से और जनता ने गठबंधन कर लिया है मोदी के व्यक्तित्व, मोदी के काम, हिंदुस्तान की बढ़ोतरी से और इस नाते जनता का वो गठबंधन कारगर रहा। आज गठबंधन थक चुका है, हाँफ रहा है और हमारा राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष का जो आह्वान है 73+ का वो पूरी तरह सफल हो रहा है।
सर 2014 की बात करूं तो 73 सीट उत्तर प्रदेश से बहुत बड़ा कारण बनी थी, जिस तरह का मैंडेट भाजपा को मिला था देश में। इस बार यूपी की जनता आप पर कितना मेहरबान होगी?
बिल्कुल उसी तरह यूपी की जनता मेहरबान है। वो प्रधानमंत्री को चुनने जा रही है और प्रधानमंत्री के सवाल पर जो लोग सामने हैं, मसलन कौन है, राहुल, माया जी, अखिलेश, ममता, शरद पवार, ये कोई पर्सनालिटियां ऐसा नहीं है जो मोदी जी की परछाई को भी छू सके।
Now, to have a glimpse of what's happening on the ground as nation wraps up for the general election, we're joined with Anu Diwan from Kolkata. Anu, thanks for joining us. First up, what are the rallies that are scheduled for the final phase of elections in the state? We have seen a 7-phase long campaigning in the state, and often the campaigning has been aggressive and also, few strong words have been used.
Very good morning, Rajat. We in Kolkata have been noticing the issues of the people, that people are still talking over the issues, and we see a little wave of BJP as well. In 2014, if we talk, there were only 2 seats that BJP won, but this time there can be a marginal increase in their numbers. As the people are talking over the issues, they are talking over the security. We have seen the incidents of violence all over. अरे फ्रेम में हूँ सर.
Well, it seems we have some problems with Anu. Anu, if you could hear me?
Yeah, Rajat, I can hear you.
Yeah. Anu, you were saying that you've been noticing on the ground that there is a groundswell for the BJP. Now, BJP has emerged as one of the important parties in West Bengal politics, something which wasn't there, say, 4 years earlier. So what are those instances that you have seen that make you say that there is a groundswell for the BJP?
Exactly, Rajat, because being the rule of TMC from a last decade, people need a change. What we have noticed that they are talking over the issues, they are talking over the security. We have seen the incidents of violence during the polling days. So they are a little bit scared. They have a fear that they might go to vote. They may fear the incidents of violence. So this is the major issue this time, when the people are talking over this issue. And BJP is making a strong place here, so that we have seen that Amit Shah, PM Narendra Modi is holding rallies regularly in West Bengal, and today also Amit Shah will be holding a roadshow in Kolkata North, where he will be starting a roadshow from Shohid Mandir to Swami Vivekanand residence, which is a 3 kilometers distance. But he will be holding a roadshow, and yes.
Right, Anu. Thanks for giving us all the details. More up on the elections, we are joined with Kriti Mishra from Kushinagar in UP. Kriti, thanks for joining us. As UP wraps up its final leg of campaigning, what is that you're seeing on the ground? You just interviewed BJP's state unit chief.
Well, Rajat, this is the penultimate phase of UP elections because there are several high-profile contests in this particular phase. Remember, Gorakhpur is also going to polls, which is considered the fiefdom of Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. Then, of course, there's Chandoli, where BJP President Mahendranath Pandey is in electoral fray, and also Varanasi, the penultimate contest, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi is seeking his second term. Remember, it is said that Purvanchal or Eastern UP, the path to government formation crosses and traverses from Eastern UP only, and in 2014, the BJP had completely swept this region. So the BJP is looking to replicate its performance of 2014. While the SP and BSP alliance is also banking heavily on the caste arithmetic, but the big question is, how is that chemistry going to work out, and would there be seamless transfer of votes between the SP and BSP cadre? The Congress also has tried to revive itself, because remember, the onus is on leader of the Congress party, Priyanka Gandhi, for the Eastern UP, and it is also the litmus test for her as well. As far as the issues go, the issues are several, right from the farmers issue to education to employment. So certainly all the political parties are trying to pull out all stops to ensure and clinch win in maximum seats of Purvanchal or Eastern Uttar Pradesh. Over to you, Rajat.
Thanks, Kriti. Thanks for joining us. So there you were explaining us the fight is intense in UP between Mahagathbandhan and the BJP. Also, Congress is also trying to regain, or to say reroute, in UP. Moving on, campaigning has gained momentum for the 7th and final phase of Lok Sabha elections. Prime Minister Modi on Monday addressed several rallies in Punjab, Madhya Pradesh and Himachal Pradesh. While launching an attack on Congress party in a poll rally in Punjab's Bathinda, Prime Minister Modi said the Congress is struggling to win 50 seats because Congress leader is confused and the thinking is diffused.
कांग्रेस की नीतियां बनाने वाले राजीव गांधी जी के खास सलाहकार और वर्तमान में ये नामदार के गुरु, उन्होंने 84 के दंगों को लेकर जो कहा उसको पूरे देश में प्रतिक्रिया हुई है कि 84 में जो हुआ वो हुआ तो हुआ। ये कांग्रेस की सोच को दर्शाता है।
Earlier addressing a public rally in Himachal Pradesh, Solan district, PM Modi requested the first-time voters to vote ensuring for development. He also targeted the Congress party, saying India was dependent on foreign countries for 70% needs of defence forces during the previous Congress governments. Now targeting the Congress party in Madhya Pradesh, Ratlam, Prime Minister Modi said it was due to bad policies of the UPA government that many people lost their family members in terror attacks. He said the Congress party ruled for 4 generations but never cared for the tribals.
एक कांग्रेस की विचारधारा है, ये 3 शब्द नहीं है, ये कांग्रेस का अहंकार है। ये 3 शब्द नहीं है, देश की जनता के प्रति उनका रवैया है। ये 3 शब्द नहीं है, ये देश की जनता को अपनी जेब में लेकर के घूम रहे हैं, ये अहंकार का प्रतीक है। बॉफोर्स तोप घोटाले पर, हेलीकॉप्टर घोटाले पर इनका एक ही जवाब है। क्या जवाब है? जरा पूरी ताकत से बताओ तो उनको पता चले।
Moving on, Congress President Rahul Gandhi addressed election rallies in Fatehgarh Sahib and Hoshiarpur in Punjab on Monday. In his speech, Rahul Gandhi said Congress has fulfilled all promises, including farmers' debt waiver, while the NDA government failed to fulfill its promises. Rahul Gandhi also promised that Nyaya scheme will benefit people of all sections and also condemned remarks by Sam Pitroda on 1984 anti-Sikh riots.
छोटे बिजनेस वाले, मिडिल साइज बिजनेस वाले, बेरोजगार युवा, ये न्याय योजना आपको भी न्याय देगी। ये आपकी भी दुकान चालू करेगी, ये आपकी भी फैक्ट्रियां वो चालू करेगी। जो सैम पिट्रोडा जी ने 1984 के बारे में बोला है, वो बिल्कुल गलत बोला है और उनको देश से इसके लिए माफी मांगनी चाहिए।
BJP President Amit Shah on Monday held several public meetings in West Bengal, addressing rally in Joynagar in South 24th Pargana. Shah claimed that TMC can stop me from attending rallies but cannot stop BJP's victory march. He accused Banerjee of no development in the state.
वो बंगाल के अंदर आज बम धमाकों की गूंज सुनाई पड़ती है। मित्रों, गूंज सुनाई पड़ती है। ये ममता दीदी ने सोनार बांग्ला को कंगाल बांग्ला बना दिया है। कंगाल बांग्ला। सिंडिकेट से मुक्ति केवल और केवल नरेंद्र मोदी जी और भारतीय जनता पार्टी दिला सकते हैं। पहले सिटीजनशिप अमेंडमेंट बिल लाएंगे, सारे हिंदू, सिख, बौद्ध, जैन, क्रिश्चियन शरणार्थी को नागरिक बनाएंगे और उसके बाद एनआरसी लाकर एक घुसपैठिए को चुन चुन कर निकालने का काम करेंगे।
Earlier in the day, Shah's scheduled rally in Jadavpur Lok Sabha seat was called off after state government denied him permission to land his chopper and hold a public address in Buryapur. The BJP has demanded the Election Commission take suo motu cognizance of the matter. The TMC, however, rebutted the allegations.
इस रैली को इन्होंने इजाजत नहीं दी, फिर हेलीकॉप्टर उतरने की परमिशन दी थी, तो हमारे लोगों ने सोचा हेलीकॉप्टर उतारेंगे, लेकिन कल रात 11:30 बजे हेलीकॉप्टर की परमिशन भी मना किया। यह लोकतंत्र की हत्या है। चुनाव आयोग को स्वयं संज्ञान लेना चाहिए। अगर चुनाव में प्रमुख नेताओं की रैलियां भी नहीं करने देंगे तो फिर चुनाव क्या मतलब है?
The Supreme Court on Monday dismissed a plea seeking direction to Election Commission to advance poll timings to 5:30 a.m. from 7 a.m. for the final phase of Lok Sabha polls in view of searing heat and the month of Ramzan. A vacation bench of Apex Court rejected pleas saying the notified timings of voting are from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and voters can cast votes in the morning also. Any change in timings will cause logistic problems to the Election Commission, said the Supreme Court vacation bench. Time for a very short break. More on the other side. Keep watching Rajya TV.
On this edition of India's World, we will analyze the new Indo-Pacific strategy.
First of all, it's a very rich region in terms of natural resources, in terms of mineral resources. It is, whether it is fisheries or minerals, oil and gas, it's an extremely rich area. The other, maybe equally, if not more importantly, is that about $3.5 trillion of international trade, global trade, flows through the South China Sea.
The fact that China is really catching up with the United States in all kinds of sectors, especially the Belt and Road Initiative, and the repeated summit meetings happening either with Africa or with the rest of the world in Beijing, are indicating China's inevitable rise in that sense. And I think that is putting United States at a certain discomfiture.
America is firmly of the opinion that democracies must have the niche technology control in their own hands, otherwise it can be subjected to misuse. And that is where the naval forces coming together.
Located in Old Goa, the Basilica of Bom Jesus is one of the oldest churches in the state. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Basilica holds the mortal remains of Saint Francis Xavier, a 16th century missionary and a pivotal figure in the spread of Christianity outside Europe. Bom Jesus, literally meaning good or holy Jesus, is a term often used in the countries of Portuguese colonization. The construction work on the church began in 1594 and it was consecrated in May 1605. One of the oldest churches in Goa and in India has a marble floor inlaid with precious stones and the main altar holding a large statue of Saint Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of Society of Jesus. Styled in Baroque and adorned with the figures of Christ and his apostles at the Last Supper, the altar table is used in Holy Mass. Nestled in the heart of Goa, the place is thronged by hundreds of tourists every day and is also a symbol of India's composite and secular identity.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
Welcome back. India on Monday successfully conducted flight test of Abhyas, high-speed expendable aerial target. The Defence Research and Development Organisation conducted tests from Integrated Test Range at Chandipur in Odisha. The trial was tracked by various radars and electro-optic systems and proved its performance is in fully autonomous waypoint navigated mode. The configuration of Abhyas is designated on an inline small gas turbine engine and it uses indigenously developed navigation system. Abhyas is designed for autonomous flying with the help of an autopilot. A Lundberg lens in the nose cone improves radar cross-section of target for weapon practice. The two-day WTO ministerial meet in Delhi is underway. Addressing the meeting of 23 developing and least developed countries in New Delhi, Union Commerce Minister Suresh Prabhu stressed on the need for multilateral trading system. He said that questioning the flexibilities provided to developing economies under the WTO norms by developed nations is controversial and extremely divisive. Under WTO's S&DT, developing countries enjoy benefits such as higher domestic support for farm sector and longer time for period for implementing agreements and binding commitments. He emphasized on the need to explore ways to address substantive issues and concern regarding the functioning of the appellate body while preserving its independence and impartiality. Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif will hold talks with External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj during his visit to India today. The two leaders will discuss the impact of US ending waivers on import of oil from Iran and ways to deal with it. His visit comes 12 days after 6-month-long exemptions from US sanctions to India and 7 other countries to buy oil from Iran ended. After the exemptions expired on May the 2nd, India said it will deal with the issue based on 3 factors: the country's energy security, commercial consideration and economic interest.
India is one of our most important partners, both economic partner, political partner and regional partners. We have regular consultations with India on various issues, and I'm here to have consultations with my counterpart on the most recent developments in the region as well as our bilateral relations. Unfortunately, the United States has been escalating the situation unnecessarily. We do not seek escalation, but we have always defended ourselves.
The prestigious Cannes Film Festival will begin in France from today. Over 10-day-long international film festival will showcase selected films from over 1,800 entries from 39 countries. India is holding a special pavilion at the festival to showcase Indian cinema cross-linguistic, cultural and regional diversity. The Indian delegation set up by Ministry of Information and Broadcasting in association with FICCI. A key focus area of Indian delegation this year will be to promote Golden Jubilee edition of International Film Festival of India to be held in Goa later this year. A specially designed IFFI poster for Golden Jubilee edition will also be released during the festival. Well, thanks for watching Breakfast News. Keep watching Rajya Sabha TV.